Hello, welcome to the audiobook of my Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's fanfic Crimson Star Priestess. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe to my channel to keep up with the updates. The link to the fanfic is in the description below. I do not own any Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D characters, I only own my Yuseis.
I was mentally exhausted after the duel with Aki, but it was worth it to save her. We walked down the corridor quietly as I kept my arm around her shoulders. She stayed close to me and held onto my shirt while she leaned her head against my side. She was like a scared child who was seeking comfort from her mother. Her long front bangs covered her face, so I took them gently behind her ears. Her brown eyes looked at me as she moved her arms so she could wrap both of them around my right arm. I heard footsteps ahead and looked up to see Yusei was walking towards us. Aki snapped her head up when Yusei stood in front of us, but her emotions were still stirring around as her grip on my arm tightened a bit. Yusei glanced at me, ignoring Aki's hostile eyes. "Are you okay, Estelle?" "Yes," I nodded. Yusei turned to Aki with his expressionless face. "And you, Aki?" "I'm fine," Aki replied with a slight tired voice. I could tell Yusei had questions, but he held himself back when he saw both my and Aki's exhausted conditions. I was glad he didn't pour all his question on us right away. "Estelle!" 2 voices called. The 3 of us turned our heads towards the source of the voices and spotted Leo and Luna. They were running down the corridors while they both had happy expressions. They probably got worried about me after the intense duel with Aki and wanted to see if I was okay. "You're okay, Estelle," Luna sighed in relief. "You were so cool out there," Leo began, only to stop and gasp in shock when he spotted Aki. "The witch!" I felt how Aki's body flinched by the nickname. I turned my eyes at her and saw she was glaring at the boy, but not as intimidated as she usually did. "Leonardo Collins," I began with a strict and serious voice. "Her name is Izayoi Aki, not Black Rose or Witch or whatever people call her." "Sorry, force of habit," Leo quickly apologized as he looked away in shame. Aki let out a soft sigh as she leaned her head against my shoulder. "I'm tired and just want to go home." By home, she must have meant the Arcadia movement. As much as I wanted her to stay with us, I knew she right now felt safest in the place that she thought was like a sanctuary for people with psychic powers. "What's going on back here?" a new voice spoke up. We turned our heads toward the new voice that came from the clown known as Lazar. "Everybody getting along nicely?" he asked with fake curiosity. "Quite a do just now, Miss Estelle. Very impressive." A weird smirk grew on his lips, which didn't give me a good feeling. "Before the final round gets underway, Director Goodwin has a few things he'd like to talk to you about. I'd say more, but it's confidential. Why don't you come with me and we—" "If I may interrupt," another voice spoke up. We turned around once again and came face to face with Sayer. He had 2 Arcadia movement grunts that stood behind him, both of them looking emotionless and acting like robots. "And you are?" Lazar asked, turning his attention at the leader of the Arcadia movement. "Don't play dumb, Lazar," Sayer retorted calmly. "Your reputation precedes you. We both know you don't like surprises, so let's not waste time pretending you haven't done your homework like I have." He turned to Aki while removing his trench coat. You did your best, Aki. Now, how about we go home and you take a nice long bath? Aki nodded slowly before she let go of my arm. I removed my jacket from her shoulders and gave her the energy stabilizer before Sayer stepped forward and placed his trench coat on her shoulders. Excuse us, Sayer nodded to us. The two Arcadia movement grunts stood around Aki and Sayer as they walked away. Sayer had an arm wrapped around the designer's shoulders, but from my point of view, it looked like a possessive grip, as if Sayer was afraid that Aki would try to run away from him. The girl looked over her shoulder and the two of us made eye contact. She gave me a soft nod and a tired smile before she turned around as Sayer looked at her. I let out a soft sigh as I held my jacket with my right arm before turning to Lazar. I'm not interested in meeting the director right now. I prefer to rest my head a bit before the final duel, thank you. I gave Lazar a nod to at least show some manners and respect before I turned around to leave. I gave Yusei and the twins a small smile before I left the trio alone. I knew I acted a bit cold, but my head felt like it was going to explode if I didn't get to rest for a few minutes in a silent room. I was a bit surprised by Estelle's actions that she left like that, but it was kind of understandable. She just had an extremely exhausting duel, both physically and mentally, so she needed to rest before our duel. However, I was curious about what Goodwin wanted with Estelle. Was it because of her having blue-eyes white dragon? Well, the director would not be pleased with this at all, Lazar snorted. What's the story? I asked him. Goodwin, what's he want with Estelle? Did you not get the memo? Lazar retorted sarcastically. I could have sworn we meant to keep you posted. So sorry about that. With that said, he walked away without answering my question. That clown creeps me out, Leo commented. Luna was quiet, but I noticed a worried look on her face. Something wrong, Luna? I asked. My arm kind of stings or something, she replied as she held her right arm. I felt kinda weird and stuff during the last duel. To be honest, I felt the same when Estelle and Aki dueled moments ago. I also felt how my right arm burned a bit, but it wasn't an extreme pain like before. I was sure it had something to do with the mark of the dragon, but something felt different this time. It was like I sensed Aki's pain and Estelle's comforting warmth when she tried to reach out to the psychic duelist. Was it possible we signers had a connection that was deeper than the mark of the dragon? But what role did Estelle play in this? She didn't possess some mark, did she? Maybe, just maybe, things would become clearer during the final duel, and I had more questions to ask Estelle now. I always had a hunch she didn't really suffer from amnesia, and the last duel confirmed it. Estelle was hiding something from me, and I wanted to know the truth now. Who exactly is she? The lounge was thankfully empty when I went to the couch to lie down and rest. I removed the duel disc from my arm and put it on the coffee table before I let out a huge sigh of relief. The duel with Aki had drained lots of mental energy from me, and I needed to rest the head and recover the strength to concentrate on the final duel with Yusei. You did an excellent job, Estelle. The Crimson Dragon's voice spoke in my head. Maybe so, but I was still a bit afraid if I had intervened too much in the plot and emotional with Aki. Yusei was supposed to be her savior, not me. As I mentioned before, Do not fear for intervening in events that are supposed to happen. I believe you were more successful than the signer bearing my tale would have done. I was too tired to ask the Crimson Dragon what he meant by that, but now I was wondering which course of actions I should go with while dueling Yusei. Should I focus on winning or let Yusei win so he could challenge Jack and win against him? The signers bearing my tail and wings are meant to duel each other. They need to reconnect after the loss they both suffered in their hearts. So, my dear priestess, do your best but allow the young man to win. I also thought that would be the best solution. Have a great and entertaining duel with Yusei, but let him win in the end. He and Jack were meant to duel each other. 2 staff members escorted me to the room where I got onto the elevating platform before the final duel. My head still felt a bit heavy, but it wasn't as tired as moments ago. I was getting a bit nervous by the thoughts that I actually made it to the final and was going to duel my secret crush in a national competition. I could hear the explosions of fireworks coming from above as the MC started with the introductions.
Yeah, it's finally time for the final. The winner of this next match gets to go on to the ultimate showdown, a one-on-one, no-holds-barred duel with the master of faster himself, Jack Atlas. Our first finalist is the mysterious dragon woman with snow-white skin and piercing blue eyes, Estelle Malmström, the shining star.
The platform below me elevated me up to the duel field as spotlight shone upon me. I could hear how a few people chanted my name and wished me good luck. I couldn't resist the temptation to wave my hand softly to the audience with a small smile.
Challenging her is the shooting star from the satellite sector, Fudo Yusei.
Yusei was elevated to the surface as many from the stands still booed at him for being a satellite, but there were a few who actually cheered for him. Yusei had an indifferent expression as he and I made eye contact. I gave him a small smile, which he returned with a tiny smirk, but he looked like he had several questions. Something told me it was about the truth that I have been hiding from him for more than 2 months now. Maybe he started getting suspicious about me after the duel I had with Aki, when I exposed myself by telling Aki I had autism and my past.
Every card has led us to this moment. The final round of the Fortune Cup is about to begin.
Yusei and I raised our left arms with our dual discs and activated them, causing the excitement and the cheers in the Kaiba Dome to raise to over 100%.
And now, get ready for the final round of the Fortune Cup.
Duel! Yusei and I exclaimed simultaneously as we both drew our first 5 cards from our decks. You can go first, Estelle, Yusei told me. If you insist, I said while drawing my 6th card. I scanned the cards I had in my hand. I had Wise Dragon, Golem Dragon, the White Stone of Legend, Trade In, Dust Tornado, and the Dragon Shield, which I had just drawn. I had to go slow for now. I summoned the White Stone of Legend in defense mode. I played said card on the dual disc. That's all for now. Your turn, Yusei. My move then, Yusei nodded as he drew a card. I summon Speed Warrior in attack mode. On the turn Speed Warrior is summoned, his attack points are doubled. Speed Warrior grunted as he bulked up his muscles a bit before an aura enveloped him for a short moment, increasing his strength. Speed Warrior, attack Whitestone of Legend! Speed Warrior skated forward and turned upside down to stand on his hands while stretching out his legs while he spun around. His legs hit the Whitestone of Legend and shattered it into pieces. The Whitestone of Legend's effect, I called quickly. When it's sent to the graveyard, I get to add one blue Ice White Dragon from my deck to my hand. My duo disc shuffled the deck until it stopped and one card was sticking out from it. I picked it up and confirmed it was Blue Ice White Dragon before adding it to my hand. At the same time, Speed Warrior's attack points went back to the original points.
We now know Esther's Blue Ice White Dragon is in her hand, but will she ever summon it? I guess all we can do now is wait and see if we will ever witness the majestic dragon again.
It's your turn, Yusei called. I drew a card, seeing it was Raikeki Break. Since you have a monster on your side of the field and I don't, I can special summon Wise Dragon in defense mode. But when Wise Dragon is summoned this way, his attack and defense points are cut in half. But that's okay, because I now summon Golem Dragon in defense mode. And now I equip Dragon Shield to Golem Dragon. The equip spell card appeared on the field before the Dragon Shield armor flew out from the set card and got strapped onto Golem Dragon. He kinda looked like half golem and half turtle with the spiky armor. I place one card face down and end my turn. I finish my turn by placing Raikeki Break face down. My move, Yusei drew a card. I release Speed Warrior to tribute summon my Turret Warrior in attack mode. Speed Warrior transformed into a rainbow-colored orb and shape-shifted into the new dual monster that looked like a tower with 2 legs and cannons pointing out of its shoulders. And due to Turret Warrior's effect, it now gains the attack points of my Speed Warrior. Speed Warrior's transparent figure appeared in front of Turret Warrior before he fused himself with the Tower of Power, giving the Battle Tower his attack points. Turret Warrior, attack Wise Dragon, Yusei commanded. Turret Warrior aimed its cannons at Wise Dragon before firing several shots. Wise Dragon stood calmly on the field as he watched the firing bullets coming at him. But before he was hit, Golem Dragon jumped in front of him to take the shots instead. However, Golem Dragon didn't get destroyed by the attack. Yusei looked confused since I had never used this combo against him before, so I had some explanation to do. Sorry, but Wise Dragon is staying with us, I told Yusei. When Golem Dragon is on the field with other dragon monsters, you must select him as an attack target first before the others. But he didn't get destroyed due to the dragon shield he's wielding. While he's having the shield, he can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and neither of us takes any battle damage from attacks involving it.
That's one wicked combo! Estes created literally an indestructible wall for Yusei to crush. How will he ever get past that?
Yusei's confused eyes shifted into an amused expression. I never saw that coming. You're good, Estelle. Thank you, I smiled softly. Bet you didn't expect me to play hard from the get-go. Is it my turn now? Yusei quickly scanned the cards in his hand. Yeah, I'm done for now. Alright, I nodded as I drew 1 for 1. I start my turn by activating my face-down Raikeki Break. By discarding 1 card from my hand to the graveyard, I can choose 1 card on the entire field and destroy it, and the card I choose is your Turret Warrior. I discarded Dust Tornado before a lightning bolt flew out from the activated trap card and hit Turret Warrior, which destroyed him and left Yusei's field empty. I switched Wise Dragon to attack mode, I continued. Wise Dragon, attack! Wise Dragon growled before he flapped his wings and flew towards Yusei. Yusei braced himself before my dragon slashed him in an X shape.
Oh, that must have hurt. A direct attack and Yusei's already lost 1000 life points. Can he recover from that?
I end my turn, I called before a small smirk grew on my lips as I put my right hand on my hip. I'm pretty curious to see how you can get past Golem Dragon's indestructible wall, Yusei. Yusei drew a card before checking it. I'm afraid I'll have to wait until I can get the cards I need to get past Golem Dragon, so for now I summon Shield Warrior in defense mode. I end my turn with 2 face downs. I drew Protector with Eyes of Blue. I think I'll use Trade In first. I send my Blue Eyes White Dragon to the graveyard to draw 2 more cards from my deck.
What in the world? Esther's not going to summon Blue Eyes White Dragon this turn? What could she be planning?
People from the stands mumbled loudly to themselves, wondering the same thing why I would send Blue Eyes White Dragon to the graveyard instead of tribute summoning it now that I had 2 monsters on the field. I sent the monster card to the graveyard before drawing the top 2 cards of my deck. I got Silver's Cry and Divine Wrath, 2 very useful cards in the future. I summon Protector with Eyes of Blue in attack mode, I called. I think we should spicy things up instead of letting the duel come to a standstill, so I'm tuning level 1 Protector with Eyes of Blue with the level 4 Golem Dragon.
What? Esther sacrificing Golem Dragon for Synchro summon? She's giving up on her indestructible wall?
Magic swords beat like my heart. Give me the power to heal my soul. Synchro summon! Come, magical android! Magical android, destroy Shield Warrior! Magical android jumped towards the warrior and slashed him with her futuristic sword, causing him to shatter into pieces. Get ready for another 1000 points of damage, Yusei, I called. Wise Dragon, go! Wise Dragon roared as he flew towards Yusei once again, ready to deliver another major hit. I activate my trap, card defense, Yusei quickly called. By discarding one of the cards in my hand, my trap's effect cancels your attack and then allows me to draw a new card to replace it. Just as Wise Dragon was about to slash Yusei, a shield created by dual monster cards surrounded the young man. My dragon's claws sparked against the shield as the attack failed. Wise Dragon growled from his throat before flying back to me, while Yusei drew a new card to replace the one he had just sent to the graveyard. Nice save, I praised Yusei, but you're not the only one who will gain something in this turn. By the end of my turn, I gain 600 life points due to Magical Android's effect. Magical Android hummed a gentle melody as she began glowing in a comfortable light green aura. The aura was then transferred to me as I gained life points. Yusei drew a new card as he began his turn. I summoned Young Synchron in attack mode. And thanks to his effect, I can special summon a level 2 or lower monster from my graveyard. Return, Speed Warrior! Young Synchron used his power to open a gate before Speed Warrior jumped out of it, looking relieved to be back to the field. And now I'm tuning level 3 Junk Synchron with level 2 Speed Warrior. Clustering stars will call upon a new force. Become the path its light shines upon. Synchro summon. Show yourself, Junk Warrior. Next, I equip Junk Barrage to Junk Warrior, giving him a power boost. Junk Warrior's right hand glowed in golden color as he gained the power of the equip spell card. Junk Warrior, attack Wise Dragon! Yusei shouted. Junk Warrior shot himself into the air and then dived down to punch and destroy Wise Dragon, finally delivering some damage to my life points. And now the effect of Junk Barrage activates, Yusei continued. So as soon as my warrior destroyed your dragon, you lose life points for half of Wise Dragon's attack points. Junk Warrior flew past Magical Android before floating above me. His optics glowed a bit before he raised his right fist and aimed at me before releasing a golden beam. I closed my eyes to shield them from the light while he lowered my life points. I opened my eyes as soon as the round was over and Junk Warrior floated back to Yusei's field. I end my turn, Yusei called.
That was a big round for Yusei. Now, will Junk Warrior make trash out of Estelle?
I begin my turn, I called as I drew a new card. The new card was the tuner monster Vulon Stella. I looked at the cards in my hand, seeing I had Silver's Cry, 1/1, Divine Wrath, and now Vulon Stella. I could try to synchro summon Star Eater this turn, but something told me I should wait with it until Yusei synchro summoned Stardust Dragon. Magical Android, send Junk Warrior back to the scrap heap, I shouted. Magical Android floated toward Junk Warrior and raised her sword, ready to slash the warrior monster into scrap metal. I don't think so, Yusei called as he removed a card from his graveyard. By banishing Shield Warrior from the graveyard, I can save Junk Warrior from being destroyed. The transparent figure of Shield Warrior appeared in front of Junk Warrior before Magical Android could make physical contact. Her sword bounced on Shield Warrior, causing her to grunt irritably by the interference. But you will still take damage even if it's just a tiny scratch, I pointed out. Not if I activate my trap card Spirit Force, Yusei called. So now, all the damage from your Magical Android's attack is reduced to 0. The remaining energy that Magical Android created for her attack bounced from the shield that surrounded Yusei for a mere moment. With the power of Spirit Force, I'm bringing back Junk Synchron to my hand from the graveyard, Yusei added as he showed me his monster card that he got back from the graveyard. And at the end of my turn, I gain another 600 life points by Magical Android's effect, I said. It's my move, Yusei drew a card. I summon Junk Synchron in attack mode. And due to his effect, Speed Warrior is special summoned from my graveyard. Junk Warrior's effect. He gains attack points equal to the total attack points of all level 2 or lower monsters I currently control. I knew where this was going, and I was very excited to see Stardust Dragon in real life for the first time. Now I tune level 3 Junk Synchron with level 5 Junk Warrior, Yusei called as Junk Synchron and Junk Warrior fused into one for the synchro summoning. Clustering hopes will become a new shining star, become the path its light shines upon. Synchro summon, take flight, Stardust Dragon! Once the light of the synchro summoning died down, Stardust Dragon opened his wings and roared to the sky as his silver or white scales shone around him. It was a beautiful sight, just as lovely as a famous painting, only the real deal was much better.
In all my years of broadcasting, I have never seen a monster like this. If you're watching from home, do not adjust your screen. It's as unbelievable as it appears.
Wow, I said in awe as I watched Stardust Dragon. He's so beautiful, Yusei. I swore I saw a proud smile on Yusei's face for a second. Thank you, Estelle, but don't get lost in his beauty. Stardust Dragon, attack magical android with cosmic flare. Stardust Dragon released a breath of silvery flames that burned magical android into ashes. The remains of the psychic monster hit me as I suffered a slight loss of life points. I set 2 cards face down and end my turn, Yusei said.
With such a majestic dragon on Yusei's field, can Estelle find a way to counterattack?
I drew a new card from my deck, which was Burst Stream of Destruction. It was time for me to synchro summon my ace Synchro. First of all, I played the quick play spell Silver's Cry. I slammed the spell card on the duel disc as a certain Blue Eyes Dragon card came out from the graveyard. If you don't remember what it does, I can special summon a normal monster from my graveyard. So here comes Blue Eyes White Dragon. A gate from the sky opened as soon as I put this card on the duel disc. Blue Eyes White Dragon flew out and roared warningly at Stardust Dragon. The Signer Dragon flinched a bit by the roar, but he then roared back. Now with Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field, I play Burst Stream of Destruction. This spell card allows Blue Eyes White Dragon to destroy every monster you have on your field, Yusei. Not if I activate Stardust Dragon's effect, Yusei quickly exclaimed. It might be a big price to pay, but by sacrificing my dragon, it destroys your spell and negates its effect. Blue Eyes White Dragon began building power in his mouth to use his special attack when Stardust Dragon flew like an arrow towards the Burst Stream of Destruction card and shattered it into pieces along with him. Blue Eyes White Dragon stopped collecting power in his mouth and lowered his neck when the spell card's effect was negated. A small whirlwind remained in the middle of the field, and that gave me a warning sign. But that's not all, Yusei added as one of his face down cards flipped up. I activated the face down Cosmic Blast. Since Stardust Dragon left the field, you lose life points for all his attack points. So Yusei decided to activate that trap card much sooner than in the anime. The whirlwind transformed into a transparent figure of Stardust Dragon and blew the wind at me. I had to shield my face with both arms as the wind ruffled my hair and clothes.
Estelle's life points are now below 1000. Could this be it? Or does she have a trick hiding in her sleeve?
I lowered my arms as soon as the wind calmed down. I quickly combed my hair so it wasn't messy before I resumed my turn. Well, I won't be able to attack with Blue Eyes White Dragon now that I used Burst Stream of Destruction, but I will add another companion, I commented as I grabbed Villain Stella's card. I summoned the tuner monster Villain Stella in attack mode. Villain Stella, put Speed Warrior back to the graveyard and make sure he stays there for good, I shouted. Villain Stella intertwined its hands into one and spun around like a drill towards Speed Warrior. Speed Warrior tried to stop the incoming attack by shielding himself with his arms X-crossed, but it didn't work. He shattered into pieces, but Yusei didn't lose any attack points due to Speed Warrior being in defense mode. Now Yusei, I called, getting his attention. I've got a mad quiz now. even though it's not the perfect timing. Which number do you get if you add 8 and 3 together? Yusei raised an eyebrow at the quiz. 11. What do you ask? He trailed off as his eyes widened in realization. Wait, are you going to? I tune level 3 Wulon Stella with level 8 Blue Ice White Dragon for a Synchro summon, I declared.
Wait, what? Is Estelle about to Synchro summon a level 11 Synchro monster? Does these cards exist in the first place?
The audience mumbled loudly in shock and surprise as Wulon Stella and Blue Ice White Dragon flew up to the sky. Wulon Stella turned into 3 tuning rings before Blue Ice White Dragon flew into them and turned into 8 level stars. A light exploded by the Synchro summoning, stronger than usual because of this summoning. 1,000,000 suns are never enough to outshine the brightest star of the universe. Synchro summon! Arise, the Emperor of the Stars, Star Eater! A giant star that looked like the sun appeared above us before a dragon tail grew out. Next came the giant wings, and last the neck of Star Eater. Star Eater's 4 eyes glowed before he released a roar that caused the whole stadium to shake like a mini earthquake.
This is absolutely stunning! Estelle does not only have the Blue Ice White Dragon, but she has the only level 11 Synchro monster in the world. Or that's what I at least assume.
Just as I had Synchro summoned Star Eater, I felt my right arm burning gently again. I glanced down and saw the star mark glowing through the sleeve of my top. I turned my eyes at Yusei and saw his mark was glowing too. My mark? Yusei mumbled before looking at me. What kind of connection do you and this dragon have to the signers, Estelle? I began slowly before shaking my head. I can't tell you now. So you do know something about the Crimson Dragon? I nodded my head. Yes, but I had to keep it a secret until the right moment. What other secrets have you kept from me? Yusei's voice sounded demanding, and it scared me a bit. You really weren't suffering from amnesia when you woke up in my place, did you? I shook my head. No, I did not. Then why did you keep acting like you didn't know things, but slowly expose yourself with small clues? So Yusei did snap up the parts when I had accidentally exposed myself, but I thought back then it wasn't enough for him to become suspicious of me. It's way more complicated than you can imagine, Yusei. But trust me when I say my actions and feelings toward you and our friends were always honest and real. Have I ever done something that made you lose faith in me? Yusei fell silent as he looked away. I started to fear that I could now lose my friendship with Yusei, and I didn't want that. He and the friends we gained along the road were precious to me. No, Yusei spoke up. I blinked my eyes in slight surprise when he finally decided to speak up. I could tell your actions have always been honest. Yusei nodded as he looked up, more understanding than pain reflecting in his eyes. Even now while we're dueling, but will you tell me everything after the fortune cup? I nodded straight away. Yes, I promise I'll tell you the truth once this tournament is over. Yusei returned the nod with a small smile which I returned. It was such a relief that Yusei was still the understanding person as his anime self. It felt like a huge boulder had been lifted off my shoulders. I place 1 card face down and end my turn. I put the Divine Wrath face down. Your move. Before I draw, Stardust Dragon returns to the field, Yusei said. Shiny particles gathered in front of the young man before Stardust Dragon returned to the field, looking just as brilliant as before. Yusei drew a card from his deck. I equip Silverwing to Stardust Dragon. Wait, what? What happened to Prevention Star? While Stardust Dragon is equipped with Silverwing, he cannot be destroyed by battle up to twice per turn, Yusei explained before he picked up another card from his hand. I summon Healing Wave Generator in defense mode. Healing Wave Generator's effect. I choose Stardust Dragon to gain life points equal to his level times 100. I countered that with my trap, Divine Wrath, I declared. I send one card from my hand to the graveyard to negate the activation of your monster's effect and destroy it. I sent 1/1 to the graveyard before a thundercloud appeared above Healing Wave Generator. It released a lightning at the machine monster, ready to destroy it. I thought Yusei was going to use Stardust Dragon's effect and rescue his machine monster, so imagine my surprise when I saw he didn't do that. Was it because he didn't want Stardust Dragon to lose his equip spell card? Healing Wave Generator got electrocuted by the lightning before he exploded into pieces. I end my turn, Yusei said, nodding to me. I nodded before drawing a card from my deck. It was Bright Star Dragon. I didn't have much use of it now, so I added it to my hand. Star Eater, attack Stardust Dragon, I shouted. Star Eater opened his beak-like mouth and released a magma-glowing fiery breath at Stardust Dragon. The silver dragon cried out in pain until the attack ended. He was still on the field due to the silver wing equip card. I end my turn, I nodded. My move, Yusei said as he drew a new card. Stardust Dragon, attack Star Eater. Va? I exclaimed in shock. Yusei, what are you doing? Stardust Dragon roared before he flapped his wings and released a breath of cosmic flare at Star Eater. Star Eater opened his beak and released his magma breath that clashed with cosmic flare. The two breaths fogged back and forth until Star Eater's attack pushed back Stardust Dragon's silvery flame and engulfed the silvery dragon in the magma flame. Stardust Dragon cried out in pain once again, but he flapped his wings to put out the fire. What was that for, Yusei? I asked in slight disbelief. So I can activate my face-down Synchro ring, Yusei replied as the trap card flipped up. I can choose one Synchro monster I control that attacked an opponent's monster this turn, but it didn't destroy it by battle. I choose Stardust Dragon to attack once again, but his attack points are doubled until the end of my turn. Oh boy, this was it. Stardust Dragon got enveloped in a glowing ring before he was surrounded by a silvery aura. He seemed to close his eyes as he allowed the power to be absorbed into his body before he released a power cry. Stardust Dragon, attack Star Eater one more time, Yusei shouted. Go, Cosmic Flare! Stardust Dragon opened his mouth to release a cosmic flare that was twice as strong as his usual attack. Star Eater braced himself as he tried to shield himself with his wings. The silvery flames hit Star Eater and pushed themselves through his scales until he started crying in pain. I watched in awe and fear as Star Eater's burning star expanded before it imploded into a vicious bright light. I had to turn away and shield my eyes from the light as the heat of the implosion caressed my back. I caught the brief sight of Yusei shielding his eyes as well with his dual disc before I shut my eyes. I could hear other people's painful cries as they also had to shield their eyes. I moved my arms from my face and opened my eyes once I felt the heat had faded. I looked up at the sky and saw the remains of Star Eater's particle flying around. Stardust Dragon flew tall and straight while he was crossing his arms for a final pose. I checked my arm and saw my mark had stopped glowing, just as Yusei's mark.
The winner of the duel is Yusei!